Stylophone Gen X-1. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Stylophone. You probably know Stylophone has been around since the 1960s. It has been a novelty item as well as an instrument that's been used in popular music. It's a huge amount of fun, but it's typically been pretty limited. Later in the 70s, they got a little more complicated, had more synthesizer type functionality, pretty cool. Then Stylophone kind of disappeared, and then it came back in about 2012, and they released an analog synthesizer Stylophone that could be played both with a stylus and without. Really fantastic product. If you'd like to see it, I have demonstrations of it in my videos. But I had a prototype, so not all the functionality was there. But even so, it was a really incredible piece of equipment. Now Dubreq has been bought by another company, and so this is the new Dubreq, the new Stylophone, and this is the product that they're putting out. And it is a wonderful combination of the sort of standard Stylophone and some of the analog functionality that one would expect in an analog synthesizer, resulting in an analog synthesizer / Stylophone that is very convenient and undoubtedly inexpensive. So with that giant introduction, let's have a listen to it. To play it, you need to use the stylus, which is traditional Stylophone. I mean, that's where its name came from, right? Okay, so yeah, that's basically how you play it. So you can play, you know, any sort of little melody that you want to. It's really fun to play. And you can do, you know, these sweepy sort of things, which are also fun. So that would have been basically the Stylophone of the past. And also when the resurgence of Stylophone came in the 2000s, you could again do that. But there's more to this device, obviously, than that. I want to point out two things that just have to do generally with the sound of the synthesizer. I almost stopped myself from saying synthesizer, but no, this is definitely a synthesizer. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to draw your attention to these buttons here on the side. There are 3 buttons. The first button is a cool feature that adds pulse width modulation to the tone. So we have this standard Stylophone tone, which is very aggressive and pointed. I'll use those terms. But by pressing this top button here, we can add pulse width modulation. Giving it a much more synthesizer tone, kind of softening it up, giving it some warmth. So that's cool. The second button adds, I think it's a dividing circuit that adds an octave lower pitch to the sound. So you have the pitch that it normally does plus an octave lower pitch happening. So here it is without. Here it is with. Let's take off the pulse width modulation so you can hear it without that. So that's a pretty great sound. And of course, we also have a button that will give a pitch 2 octaves beneath that which the Stylophone is typically making. So you can get some bass sort of sounds in there, and you can use all of them at once. Really big full sound, and have it all on with the pulse width modulation as well. A great full synthesizer sound. Now, say, hey, Mark, what's this thing? Did you see this? This is a new addition. This is a lot of fun. What this is again, It is a pitch strip, but it is tuned differently than the touch plate, and you don't need a stylus to play it. So you can get theremin-like effects and these nice pitch sweeps, and theoretically, I bet you could actually play notes with it. I haven't tried that yet. And that effect certainly becomes a lot of fun when we get into the more synthesis-based related stuff. So yeah, there are some very basic initial stylophone functions.